The Mirror Storm at Elderbrook. The sky above Elderbrook Magical Academy was a strange color that afternoon. Not quite gray, not quite blue, but something in between that shimmered like polished glass. Students kept glancing up as they crossed the courtyard. "Does the sky look reflective to you?" Zoey Whitemore asked, shading her eyes. Adrian Blackwood followed her gaze. The clouds were moving slowly, but they didn't look soft and fluffy like normal clouds. Instead, they seemed sharp and shiny, almost like thousands of thin mirrors floating in the air. Sebastian Crow folded his arms. "That's not normal weather." "Very observant," Adrian said dryly. A distant rumble echoed across the castle grounds. It didn't sound like thunder. It sounded metallic. Zoey grinned. This is definitely going to be interesting." Sebastian sighed. "Every time you say that, something explodes." They were walking toward the East Tower for their afternoon class when Professor Larkin suddenly appeared at the top of the stone steps. "Attention, students," he called. Everyone stopped. Larkin looked unusually serious. His blue robes fluttered in the rising wind. "We are expecting a rare magical weather phenomenon known as a mirror storm," he announced. The courtyard filled with murmurs. "Mirror storms occur when unstable atmospheric magic reflects itself through enchanted particles in the air," Larkin continued. "In simple terms, magic may bounce back at you." Zoe's eyes sparkled. "So spells ricochet?" "Exactly." Sebastian groaned. "Fantastic." Adrian adjusted his satchel thoughtfully. "That could be dangerous. Which is why all students must remain inside the castle until the storm passes," Larkin finished. Zoey turned slowly toward Adrian and Sebastian. Her smile was suspicious. Sebastian pointed a finger at her immediately. "No." "I didn't even say anything." "You don't have to." Adrian narrowed his eyes. "Zoey." She clasped her hands behind her back innocently. "Don't you think," she said carefully, "that observing a rare magical storm would be educational?" Sebastian looked at Adrian. "Tell her no." Adrian opened his mouth. Then another metallic rumble echoed across the sky. A streak of silver lightning flashed above the forest. Adrian hesitated. "Very educational," he admitted quietly. Sebastian stared at both of them in disbelief. "You're both insane." 10 minutes later, the three of them were standing just outside the castle walls, near the edge of the training fields. The wind had grown stronger, and the sky looked even stranger now. The clouds shimmered like enormous pieces of broken glass drifting overhead. Zoey held out her hand. Tiny sparkling particles floated in the air like dust. "It's beautiful," she whispered. Sebastian pulled his cloak tighter. "It's terrifying." Adrian opened a small notebook and began writing observations. "Magical particles reacting to atmospheric pressure," he murmured. "Fascinating." Then the storm began. The first bolt of mirror lightning struck the ground nearby with a sharp crack. Instead of fading, the light bounced upward, splitting into 3 identical flashes that shot across the sky in different directions. Zoey gasped. "That's amazing!" "Do not cast a spell," Sebastian warned immediately. "I wasn't going to." A second lightning strike hit the ground near the training field. The magic rippled outward like a wave. Adrian stepped back. "That reflection effect is stronger than I expected." Suddenly the wind intensified. Floating mirror fragments formed in the air, thin glowing shapes that rotated slowly like spinning blades. Sebastian grabbed Zoe's arm. "Maybe we should go back inside now." Too late. One of the floating mirrors drifted towards them. Adrian instinctively raised his wand. "Shield!" The spell left his wand and immediately bounced off the mirror surface. The magical barrier shot backwards. All 3 of them dove aside as Adrian's own shield spell smashed into the ground behind them, sending dirt and grass flying. Sebastian stood up slowly. "I warned you." Zoey blinked. "Okay, that was kind of our fault." Another lightning strike split the air above them. This time the magic reflected across multiple mirrors at once. The energy beams zigzagged wildly across the field. One blast struck the ground nearby. The earth cracked open with a loud boom.
Zoey grabbed Adrian's sleeve. "We should run." "Agreed," he said calmly. They turned toward the castle, but the storm had other ideas. A massive mirror fragment suddenly formed directly in front of them, blocking the path. Sebastian stared at it. "You've got to be kidding me." The reflective surface shimmered. Then, to their horror, their own reflections stepped out of the mirror. 3 glowing copies of themselves stood on the grass. Zoey pointed. "Oh good, we've made clones." Adrian studied the figures carefully. Not clones, reflections. Sebastian's reflection cracked his knuckles. That's worse. The mirrored versions attacked first. Adrian's reflection launched a precise stunning spell. Zoey yelped and rolled sideways as the spell blasted past her. "Your reflection is very rude." Sebastian blocked a strike from his own mirror self. "Why is mine stronger than me?" Zoey's reflection attempted a levitation charm, which bounced off a mirror fragment and nearly hit the real Zoey. "Okay," Zoey shouted. "New rule. No spells." Adrian ducked another magical blast. That might be wise. He looked around quickly, analyzing the storm patterns. The mirror fragments rotated slowly in the air. An idea formed. "Wait," Adrian said. "The reflections depend on the mirrors." Zoey blinked. "Meaning?" "If we break the mirrors, the reflections should collapse." Sebastian looked up. "There are about 30 mirrors." Zoey grinned. "Challenge accepted." They grabbed fallen training poles from the field. No magic, just speed. Zoey sprinted forward first, smashing one of the floating mirrors with a powerful swing. The glass exploded into sparkling dust. Her reflection flickered. Sebastian destroyed another mirror with a well-aimed throw. Adrian knocked down 2 more with careful strikes. One by one, the reflections weakened. Zoey smashed the final mirror fragment. All 3 mirrored figures shattered into glowing light. The storm immediately began to calm. The clouds softened. The wind faded. Silence returned to the training field. Zoey collapsed onto the grass, laughing breathlessly. "That was incredible." Sebastian lay beside her. "That was a terrible idea." Adrian brushed dirt from his coat. "That was scientifically valuable." Footsteps approached behind them. A very familiar voice spoke. "Mr. Blackwood, Miss Whitemore, Mr. Crow." The 3 froze. Professor Marin stood behind them with his arms crossed. He slowly surveyed the broken mirrors, the cracked earth, and the exhausted students. "I believe," he said calmly, "I instructed everyone to remain inside the castle until the storm passes." Zoey raised her hand slightly. "In our defense," Sebastian interrupted, "there is no defense." Marin nodded. "Correct." He turned toward the castle. "You will spend tomorrow evening repairing the training field without magic." Zoey groaned. Sebastian sighed. Adrian nodded politely. "Yes, Professor." As Marin walked away, Zoey looked at the others. "Worth it?" Sebastian thought for a moment. "A little." Adrian smiled slightly. "Definitely." Another perfectly chaotic day at Elderbrook.